Alright, hey everybody. Um, Basically, I wanted to make a video about the basic layout of my experiences, maybe talk a little bit longer about it since, kind of home alone without the missus, and just figure I'll sit in the car and, you know, just chill in the dark and talk to you people. So, okay, here we go. Basically, when I was about 2 or 3 years old, I guess you could say my paranormal experiences actually began. But, it wasn't like anything dark, I wouldn't say. It wasn't anything possessive. It was basically, as far as I could tell, it was actually my grandfather that used to come and visit me. And he would stand in my window, and I would see him as a kid, and I'd run to my mom, and I would basically be like, Mommy, the man in my room is back. And, years later, I saw a picture, and I recognized the damn face, and she was like, that's my father. Like, that's strange. So that was pretty much my first, paranormal experience. It's been going on since I was very small. When I was 2 or 3 years old, my dad used to watch Star Trek and shit with me. I mean, maybe people would be like, hey, probably rubbed off, the fucking kid starts getting abducted by aliens and shit, like, yeah, haha, whatever. But, I mean, I can understand how someone that didn't go through it wouldn't believe in it, but I can't understand how they don't believe in it after, documented, like, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, they all exposed this stuff for what it is. They all either got impeached or shot at. Yeah, you learn your lesson or you die, basically, is how these people roll. But, it's, we're ultras, we're badasses, I like how, John Storm says it, this little saying, like, it honestly inspired me. Like, it is the fucking best. He goes, though I shall walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For I survived MK Ultra, and I am the baddest motherfucker in the valley. Now that is some truth, man. That is some goddamn truth. It's like, if I can survive everything I've survived, do you think I can't survive this shit? The normal people I feel bad for, I want to save them, I want to help them, I want to show them, I want to fucking guide them, maybe help them so they can avoid their own death, maybe not kill other people. That's not my goal at all. I don't want anyone killing anybody, actually. I wish everyone would just stop fucking killing each other, honestly. But, yeah, shit, basically it's just like, what do you do with that type of information, man? Like, what do you do when you find out that the world that you live in is a fucking lie? What do you do when an ultra comes to you and tells you how things are? Do you laugh at it? Do you accept it? Do you make them feel like a fool? By the way, that red dot above that building over there, which is not my building, is a Gwen Tower. See it glowing up there? It's not blinking or anything. It's the little tiny red dot above all the other lights. That's the local Gwen Tower. See how fucking close it is to my goddamn house? Which is to the right. Sorry. Can't see it. It's not lit up, but whatever. Yeah, that's our local Gwen Tower. See how close they keep it? See how close I live to this damn thing? I can see the light. I could walk there right now. Walk up to this thing and climb it. But, anyway. Back on topic. Gwen Towers, they send out signals to people, and, basically they will fucking track you. Like, a lot of MKs will live close to these towers, not realizing until they wake up. Then they start moving further away, sadly due to financial reasons. I'm kind of stuck near this damn thing. But, they built a gigantic one I've been telling people about. Like, it just sprung up, like, yesterday, in my grandmother's neighborhood, and this thing's like the size of the damn Washington Monument, and no one even knows it's fucking there, Like, you'd drive by it, you wouldn't even see it. You gotta go, like, walk through the woods for a minute, and it's like, wow. Gigantic. But, yeah, I mean, these things, man, that's another thing, my grandmother's neighborhood. I think the next step up from, age 3 was my grandmother's neighborhood. Because, I think I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was at my grandmother's house. We had lived there at the time because our house burned or something happened. Something happened. We ended up at my grandma's house. And, I had killed a fucking cottonmouth, actually, around that time, too. 3, 4, 5 years old. I killed a cottonmouth snake, and I brought it home to my mom, and I'm like, look what I did, like a cat. And she looked at me like, okay then, like, yo, man. But, yeah, killed a poisonous snake as a child. Why? It tried to bite me. You see, when snakes try to bite me, it doesn't end well for the snake. But, anyway, back to this story about these particular woods where they built this giant Washington Monument size tower. Sorry, I'm gonna roll my windows down for a second, because, I saged my car. Dorothy's gonna kill me, but you know what? I do what I do. She's gonna be like, it smells like sage. It's like, yeah, it does. Keeps the evil out, man. Sure as hell does. But, yeah, I mean, usually sage and, marijuana will keep evil out. It tends to help. I mean, from a lot of MKs I've talked to. One thing I do with her, one thing I don't. She doesn't like sage at all, whatsoever. But, basically, yeah, this story about when I was a child. Alright. True story about when I was a child, but for the sake of story's sake, I'll tell it like a story. I used to like to play in the woods as a kid. I know a lot of kids these days don't, but I did. I lived in the middle of the goddamn woods. I didn't have TV, didn't have cable TV. I had bunny ear TV. I had a fucking cord phone attached to the wall, and I played in the woods. I built teepees. I survived. I killed shit. I shot guns. I threw knives. I learned swordsmanship. I learned to draw. This was basically where I became myself, at my grandmother's house. It was the only place I ever felt safe. And even to this day, if I feel unsafe, I will tend to venture back to that area. But, basically, I was walking through the woods with my friend one day, and, her boot got sucked into this mud wallow, because she had accidentally stepped in it, and it got sucked all the way down, disappeared, gone. And I was like, oh, no, yeah, like, we gotta get back, like, let's go tell your mom what happened, get you a new pair of boots or whatever. We were walking back, and, like, we're crossing over this log, over another mud wallow, and sitting on the top, like, sole first, like, not even on its side, like, sole first, as if it had just, like, gone in and just risen right back up, spotless clean, her exact boot. And these things weren't like common boots. They were like fairy princess fucking Barbie boots. And like this thing stood out. It was bright pink. And I just reached down and grabbed it for her, and I was like, here you go, put it on. She's like, she kind of freaked out, but to me, for some reason, it was normal at that age. Like, I didn't even think about it, And that never struck me as weird. That every time paranormal things happened, it never struck me as weird. It was just, yeah, shit happens. Moving on. But, I got this freaking blonde lady out walking her dog right now. Like, she thinks I'm not paying. She keeps looking right at me. It's funny. It's like, whatever, lady. Probably looks like I'm fucking hotboxing my car or something. It's like, I'm sorry. My bad. I feels. But, yeah, basically, I guess the next thing would be, in terms of paranormal things that happen to me. when I was about 6, 7 years old, I was in this school called Oak Haven. They basically used to beat us up, you know, stick us in solitary confinement. There was no real pattern to anything. It was like, you'd just be sitting there, they'd be like, draw. They wouldn't teach you anything, they'd just be like, draw. And I got really good at drawing faces. I would just draw these random faces. And I noticed later in my life, I'd start meeting these people, and I had drawn them when I was like 6. John Storm being one of these people. I wish I still had the drawings, because I remember them all. And that's how I know these people when I meet them. I'm like, I drew this fucking guy, you know? Weird. Like, I drew him younger, but I drew this fucking guy. In a class where I was getting the shit kicked out of me every day, thrown on the floor, sat on by 5 fat-ass adults with police connections, which the nurse always had the police on the phone, like, my husband's a cop. You know, it's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I climbed a fucking tree to get away from these people once. Like, ran out the school, up a tree, and they're like, we're gonna get the canine unit. And even at that age, I was like, bitch, you better get the feline unit, because dogs can't climb trees. At which point, they looked at each other and got really pissed off. Because I guess these fat bitches couldn't climb any fucking trees. But, that's like, I guess that school's the reason why when I got to Oak Haven, when I got to Hopkins Hill, after it was all blown wide open, the police found out, there was reports made, all the teachers got fired for what they did, they had it all on tape. I got brought to Butler, missed a fuck ton of time, but when my memories pop back up at Hopkins Hill, the only memory I have of Hopkins Hill is a gym class period. And this, I think, is where they started fucking just boom, gone. Couldn't leave me in public for a while. Because I was a freak of nature by that point. Like, I enter Hopkins Hill. The gym class was, alright, we're gonna run around the gym, like, however many times you can. They kept, like, all these kids were winded, passing out. Like, I just kept going, like, not even winded. And they're looking at me, they're like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, okay, you win there, champ. Like, my God, yo. Like, we did the pull-up competition. Like, the next kid down, I think, was Kurt Kelling, actually. The kid's a beast, you know, for just being a normal dude. And he did, like, 60 pull-ups or something. And fucking, I go up, I do, like, 100. The teacher's like, okay, you win. You know? Like, yeah, like, what is this? Like, this kid's a fucking superhero, you know? But it's like, they didn't realize I just spent fucking the whole last part of that fucking year getting the shit kicked out of me, having people sit on me doing push-ups with a fucking 500-pound fat bitch sitting on my back, and fucking people holding my arms and legs to the floor, and I still got out of that shit. Like, come at me, bitch. I'm the fucking man. I was 6 years old. I was the fucking man, yo. But I mean, I'm that man to this day. Like, you come at me, I will punch you in the fucking mouth with 2,000 pounds of force. That's a fucking car crash, bitch. You wanna fuck with me? I will kick you so fucking hard in your solar plexus that I will shatter your ribs to pieces. There's a reason I don't put my hands on people usually. There's a reason I have a rule to it. It's because whatever I hit, I break. And yeah, I might get touchy about, like, people, like the people around me, the people I care about, the people I actually have grown to love, and the people that they like to try to kill on me. Basically, you ever fuck with my family, you just fucked with the worst motherfucker you could have fucked with. And like, these people in the programs, these little hood rats from around town, you know, a lot of them, they'll try, you know, but they don't realize, like, you can't fuck with me and win. You know, like, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna go at you and, like, be like, oh, well, now it's self-defense and now they're in the right. I'm gonna wait for this motherfucker to come at me again. And I wanna fuck you up. Because you don't know what you're fucking with. Like, I am an MK Ultra. I came out of MK Cotton, Subproject 63. I am a Delta. I fuck people up, dude. Dude. Like, you don't know what I've done. You don't know where I've been. You don't know shit, dude. You might think you know me because I play nice with people. I always try to make people laugh. I'm a fucking jokester, yo. It's what I do. But don't ever mistake that shit for weakness. Okay? Alright. Anyway. I'm gonna pick this up later. Delta 6 out. Peace.